All right, welcome everyone. So glad to have you here today and to introduce you to my two cousins, the lovely ladies on the screen with me. And I am so blessed to have them in my life as they have been a key part into creating my book covers. So I am going to let them introduce themselves and we'll start off with Hilary.
So my name is Hilary Messer-Franz and I do photography. My photography name is Happy Trails Photography. I just recently changed it. I do a wide variety of photography, but my specialty at this point is equine photography. I go on the trail rides and take pictures. I do senior portraits, weddings, different things that involve horses. But I do have a special passion for era-specific photography as well. I love to do old-timey type of things from different eras. I love to dress people up. I've done a wide variety of that stuff as well.
I will say Hilary is amazing at being accurate with the time era. She does a lot of research and she gets it down to like your hair and your makeup and just even the scenery around you. She does a great job. All right, Nikki, you're up.
My name is Nikki Betker. I am a children's illustrator in the daytime, and I moonlight as a graphic designer in the part-time. So I, in working with Melissa and Hilary, I'm helping with the graphic design of the covers, so it's been a lot of fun. We even got to all be together for the photo shoot for the first book cover, and it was a lot of fun picking at Derek and Melissa to make sure that the dress flowed right and things like that. So there's a lot of artistic vision, I think, between the three of us.
There is, because as the author, I have this certain vision, but then you guys come in with your unique abilities and help me capture that vision. So let's just talk a bit about that photo shoot. Like from your perspectives, what was it like for you? What were you trying to capture? What were your priorities, I guess?
I wanted to capture your vision for it, Melissa. Like I wanted that to be one thing because you definitely had an image in your head. You've definitely written these characters that I've never read before at this point, or they weren't even completely down on paper at that point. So it was really something that I wanted to put an image to your words. And so that was something that I was thinking about when we were doing these things. Also, just the time frame. It was like, okay, I had this time frame in my head, and just from different research and stuff that I've done before, it's I kind of had a picture in my head of how that might have looked, facial expressions might have looked, scenery might have looked during that time. So
Love it. How about you, Nikki?
You had a lot of good input, though, which helped, Hilary, but it also helped me. So one of the things that, I've dabbled in photography over the years, so I understand composition. Composition is key when you're working with books all of the time, in my opinion. So it was a lot of fun to be able to see that when we started to pose you based on things that I think we started with you and what you were thinking. Like you had an idea of what part in the book that you wanted to capture for the cover. And I think between Hilary and I, we could see, she's looking from behind the camera and I'm able to go, okay, I can see this without looking through the viewfinder. And so it was a matter of tweaking it and help her tweak it so she could stay behind the camera and then we could get the shot right. But that was a lot of fun. That was just a lot of fun.
It was a blast. I really enjoyed it. And there's things that you guys brought, even questions. Like I remember, Nikki, you're like, do you want to be facing to where you're facing towards the way the book cover opens? You want to face, just these little things that as an author, I'm not going to think of. Like I've got the story in my head, the characters in my head. But you two ladies did a really good job of bringing them to life. So, which I have shared our first book cover that we did together, ladies. I have shared that out and excited to see kind of how the readers react to that as well. But I thought it turned out really well. So then, just thinking through the process of creating a book cover, we've done the photo shoot. What happens after that?
It's Hilary. Hilary's up first.
Oh. So after we did the photo shoot, then I shared the photos with Melissa, and she was able to go through and choose out of all of the many shots that we took, which ones were the ones, like, narrowed it down to a group of pictures that she was like, okay, these might be the one. And we went back and forth with a couple of different edits on them and some changes to the color and things like that on various ones, which then helped her narrow it down to like the one that she wanted. And so then after we did all of that, then I believe, did you get it next, Nikki? Or did it kind of come? I don't remember how.
This is a long process, so it's a lot of time was covered. So
yeah, well, and we took a break here and there, and that's okay. Yeah. I think I got 2 or 3 images, and then we talked about, but I think we talked about from the beginning the difference between making it full color versus a sepia tone, because we wanted that time to show, and then the sepia tone came out, and I don't know, I think it really makes that photo. But when I saw the photo that we ended up using, the composition of that photo, I think we had to crop it a little bit, but it just it spoke to me, and so I ran with that one from what I can remember, and it worked. Now we've done some things recently, and going back after Melissa had some time to think about it and look at it and revisit it a few times, and we changed the background, and that turned out very nice.
Yeah, it was a little tricky at first finding the right background to work, but yeah, I think it looks amazing. So what was it like then working together on the book cover? Because I know you ladies had a lot of back and forth without me even in the picture. So what was it like?
Well, it's always fun.
We worked. Hilary and I are well, we're close. We're very close, regardless of this project. But it's very easy to say, "Hey, this is what I'm thinking," and just have her tweak it. We did a lot of tweaking of tonal colors and things like that, and then but I'm able to take something and do a sketch and then show her, this is what I'm thinking, and then that way she can visually see what I'm thinking and she can change it. So it's just a matter of getting all the pieces to fit, and this project just went together beautifully.
Yeah, it was, and it's sometimes too, it's like when you're working with someone that you are so close with, and and you're both kind of artistic and you do different artistic things. It's really easy in a sense for, Nikki knows what she needs to say for me to be able to see it and understand it and make it happen that way. So it was a ton of fun. I really enjoyed doing it. So yeah, we just, it really went well, and it went smooth, and we just kind of went back and forth on things, and we tweaked colors and different things like that just to get the vibe of the era and the book itself to make that really echo all of that. So
yeah, and people are, I think, amazed at how much it takes to do that, especially when you're taking trying to put a different background behind your main picture, and just I think one of the things we talked to Nikki quite a bit was we've got to get that horizon line correct. You've got to get your lighting correct, and if you're not an expert in those the tools that you guys use for that, like, I tried playing around with some stuff, and I'm like, I have no clue what I'm even clicking on or what's happening to the picture here. It is totally worth putting it in the hands of experts like these two ladies, for sure. I will say that, because you guys are so creative. Like, I'll create the story, but you guys are so good at creating the images. And so thank you for that, because that takes something off my plate that I have no talent in whatsoever. So you can dress me up and I'll pose all day long for pictures, but don't ask me to put it together in a cover. Like, it's not going to happen. So, all right. So where are we at now in the cover design process? Because we're almost to the finish, but not quite. Would you say?
I think we still need, we need to do the special cover, which I don't think is photography related. So I'm looking, we either need to look for an image that best represents what you're wanting it to be, so then I can superimpose your title and things in there. But I don't want to give it away, so I'm trying to be careful about how
You're okay. So most people have seen they've seen the cover you've created, that you two created, and then they've seen the one that I created just to it's just like my stand-in cover that I put out there. So they have seen it, but so Hilary and Nikki have helped me create so far the cover that will go on the special edition books. But the mass market cover is where we're trying to figure out, get the right pictures for that. So
I do need to spend some time with that. You have everything that I think you use to create the stand-in. And then I need to gather my thoughts on that. And then I might actually have Hilary see if she can help me change tonal values if we need to, but I'm not sure exactly. I still need to add that in, and we need to work on that. And then your big piece, I hope you cannot hear that. Do you hear a buzzing noise?
No.
No.
So there are...
I'm trying to get a dog out of the room so you can't hear that. Okay.
There's
my dog is gone. Now we're out of that danger.
You have paratroopers?
Okay, so little history lesson for y'all. You know who Wilbur Wright and Orville Wright, you know, the flyer?
Yeah.
Right? Well, about 2 cornfields over that way, which would be the east of my house. A couple cornfields over there, is the birthplace, the actual house that Wilbur was born in. So he was born in Indiana, people. He was not born in Ohio. They get to claim Orville, but they don't get to claim Wilbur. So, Wilbur's birth house is right over there, and there's a little museum, and then there is a grass airstrip. No, you can't land a plane there, like a full-size plane, but they run like gas-powered RC type of airplanes out there all the time. And then there's a club somewhere in Indiana that comes every so often in the evenings on a really nice, clear, non-windy night. And they have these jetpacks. Okay, they strap these jetpacks on, think Rocketeer. And then there's a parachute, like a paragliding, lost the term. So they are dangling in just the jetpack. Okay, their feet are dangling. There's nothing. They are not sitting in anything. They are just they're strapped into this jetpack, and this little noise. And they run down the airfield and jump, and their little jetpack takes off, and then they soar around in their little paraglider things, but you hear the noise, and so Pete knows that we call them the paratrooper men. And she knows that when she hears that sound that they're out there flying, and that's why she went to the window. So,
I love it. I love it.
This is like Iron Man level stuff.
No, but it's not, because he's not flying with this. They've got the big not parachutes, but the wind gliding, the paragliding.
So they don't have Jarvis with them, huh?
No.
Just for people watching, like, this is typically how it goes when we get together. It's a lot of laughing. It's a lot of crazy stories. And I had no idea that, who is it, Wilbur? We get to claim Wilbur?
Mm-hmm. We get to claim Wilbur.
I've lived in Indiana my entire life and did not know that. So,
do you know who Wisconsin gets to claim?
Joe.
The Menards guy. Yep, the Menards guy on the Menards commercials. Yep, he was born and lived in a town near me.
His son's nice. Paul's a nice guy. He drives race car. Or used to.
So yeah, we get the Menards guy. You guys get, a historical figure.
Hey, we also get to claim that Lincoln a little bit. Because he was, I can't remember if he was born in our state or lived in our state for a short bit. But, yeah.
Gosh. Trying to be more people from Wisconsin.
There has to be. You're known for your cheese. Culver's. We love Culver's.
It's true. Yep.
Almost a big deal as Chick-fil-A when that Culver's came to town.
We don't have a Chick-fil-A.
We don't have a Chick-fil-A, but we have 2 Culver's in the same town. It's amazing.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't go wrong with cheese curds, right?
No.
No. I'm trying to think.
Unless you're me and you're dairy intolerant, then yeah.
There's a whole lot of wrong there.
Yeah.
All right, so the first book cover is pretty much almost wrapped up. And so now we're looking this is a 7-book series, so now we're looking forward into the next few books, and we have another photo shoot coming up in a week or so. I cannot believe it. So excited. Unfortunately, we're not going to have Nikki with us, but Nikki's going to get to see all the lovely photos when we're done. And help us pick the best one. Because I think it was your input, Nikki, on the first one that really helped us nail down, this is the one. So what are you guys thinking moving forward? What are your thoughts moving forward? You want to try this again with me?
Yes, absolutely.
Of course.
Yeah. I kind of put you on the spot there, but
you can't just start a book series and drop it after the first book. You just shouldn't do that.
Yeah. Well, so our readers kind of know a little bit about who's coming up. So I'll fill you ladies in a little bit. I think I filled it in with Hilary. So our next leading lady is an Irish maid who's now working on the ranch, or now living at the ranch. And then the next lady is going to be a preacher's daughter. And then we're going to have a widow she is trying to run her ranch now that her husband's gone. And then we're going to have a lady who was a prostitute and is now a maid at the ranch. And then we'll have a Pinkerton detective lady in there. And, a girl who was adopted around the age 14 by the main wealthy family in the series. So we are going to have a lot of fun taking pictures.
What are we going to do? How many?
We're going to have 7 total.
7. I thought that's what we talked about.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to plug, I do want to plug some ideas into your head so that you guys can have a little bit of something to think about when you start. I know that we haven't quite dove completely into the mass market cover, but think about your color palettes ahead of time. Have those color palettes reflect maybe because I'm thinking Irish, you want a little more green in that one, or think about your color palette when we move forward for each one, because it could reflect a little bit of the woman's personality in that cover. And that we can actually take that into account as we dive into the mass market of book 1 and see how that goes. I think it's good to kind of pre-plan some of that so that you can then build a series, because say this is something a lot of people don't necessarily think about, but when you see the whole series finish and it's spine in on the shelf, okay, you could have those spines in a particular color so that the reader knows right off the bat when they go to grab a book which girl they're pulling based on a color that then reflects that woman and her job or her background or what makes her special compared to the rest. And then we can design based on that. And then it looks good as a set. I mean, so even think color palette, you know, you don't, you want it soft? Do you want it moody? Do you want it, you know, muted tones? Do you want a little bit of vibrancy to it? You know, ask yourself all of those things. So
I like it. Okay, Hilary, I have some thoughts coming to me. I'm going to have to check my outfits that I bought. And I'm like, I may have to go shopping and do express ship again.
Oh, bummer.
darn.
So what are you looking forward to on the next books in the series?
I'm so looking forward to the photo shoot, obviously. I've been thinking about it for as long as we've had it planned out. So I'm just looking forward to all of the different characters and all of the different settings and backgrounds and different things to, again, make it tell the story. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
And I know you've already done quite a bit of scouting on that too, which is great. So we'll be ready to go.
Yep, I definitely have a field full of cattle that we can use as a background.
Love it. All right, Nikki.
Best part for me is waiting for that email to open up what we've got. And then you know, the best part about my job isn't making the final pieces. It's the beginning stages. It's opening a manuscript, it's reading art direction, and it's seeing, you know, whether it's photography or clip art or stock photography that people find that say, hey, this resonated with me, can you incorporate it somehow? And then that then feeds the images that start to grow in my brain. So that is the most fun part, is reading and watching and formulating so that movie starts to play, those images start to come to life in my head. And then the next fun thing is showing you guys. Because it's like, hey, here's where it started. Here's where Hilary came in. Now let me show you some options. And then your brain then can ignite and it fuels your passions as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a cycle. And sometimes I get a little impatient because I just want to see what you ladies have put together. So
we will try to be faster in the next rounds. I know that this book has been a few years in the process.
It has, but a lot of that's on me as an author too. It's taken me a long time to get it written the way I want it written for my readers. So, but let me wrap this up by saying thank you for joining me today, ladies. I loved getting the inside scoop on the book cover. There's a lot that happens when I'm not around, and I'm so thankful that you guys can do it and do it well.